Be welcome to a new video where, as usual, I just analyze all of these pairs and I'm gonna tell you which ones I'm gonna be interested on taking a trade this upcoming week. Now, the past week was a little weird, interesting, ups and downs. A lot of trades played out, and a lot of trades looked beautiful and didn't play out. But that's part of the game. And actually, I'm very happy because I lost some trades, I won some trades, and at the end of the day, with a good risk to reward ratio, you can manage to get some profit. So I'm very happy about that. Hopefully, you were able to do the same. A lot of trades that we talk about in the last video played out. So, hey, and a lot of them missed too. I'm not going to lie. But it is what it is. If you kept playing, I mean, you kept playing, if you kept trading and you did not let fear getting your feelings and you took every setup at the right moment, even though a lot of trades just went the other way without any explanation. Hey, a lot of trades played out beautifully. So, first pair for this week, USDJPY. As you can see on the weekly, we are bearish, but on the daily, we are bullish. And it just seems to happen that we are on the last previous structure point. We also have the psychological number 144,000. And if we go to the 4 hour, I see that we are bearish, but we are really close to breaking, well, to shifting to bullish. And if we shift bullish and have a pullback, let's see, we have an EMA, well, the psychological number, and in that case we could be taking the same trade that I took this week. That it was a beautiful trade. I actually don't know, I can't explain why I put my take profit here instead of this. Like, I'm looking at the past and I really don't know why I put my take profit here instead of here. I don't know why, but hey, it is what it is. It was a beautiful trade. I talk about this. Well, actually, I talk about this first movement, but I was not able to catch it. To be honest, there was no pullback. Maybe in this week, but it was 12 a.m. Maybe I was sleeping. And yeah, this happened really fast. And I think I was actually just waiting for the candlestick to close here to then buy, because we had the EMA. And I mean, it's the same trade that we have taken a couple of times already. But yeah, at the end of the day, we shift bullish here. Last previous structure point, I placed my trade. I think it was pretty close to weak me out, or I don't know if I took the trade after the candlestick was more to the upside after the week was formed. I don't know. I can't remember. But this was a beautiful trade that if you were not able to catch this, it calls my attention that this was a perfect opportunity. And we've been talking about this area a lot, like many times. And in this area, damn, like, you gotta have some balls and some courage, but you can have some amazing risk to reward radius here. So for this week, it's gonna be basically the same. On the 1 hour, we are already bullish, which I like, but we are under the EMA. So if in the 4 hour we can shift bullish, pullback, it's gonna look even better on the 1 hour. And on the daily, we could be rejecting the last previous structure point to keep going to the upside. And this time I'm gonna put my take profit all the way up here. I mean, I really don't know why I didn't do this. At least this. But hey, not time for that. Next pair that we have is AUDJPY, a pair that we also had the last on the last video. And when this happened, Thursday, I did not take this trade. I think I thought about it and I didn't. As you can see on AUDJPY, we are bearish. Last previous structure point, we barely move on this week. I mean, this is the candle for the week. And on the daily, as you can see, We started the week here. This was Friday, Monday. And what I told you guys, we are gonna come here. Last previous structure point EMA, we're gonna have a rejection and sell. I took the trade. I don't remember when. Let's see if I can. I think this was Tuesday, Monday, 25th. Wait, I'm so confused. Okay, Friday, Sunday. Okay, here. Did I take this trade or not? If it wasn't on this one, then it was on NCDJPY where, well, I took an L. But I really like that the price is respecting the zones and what I told you. You just this week happened. I mean, this week happened, which was unexpected. But these trades, these two pairs are like different, like positive and negative. Here I want to buy, here I want to sell. I do not plan on selling USDJPY and I do not plan on buying AUDJPY unless we have a movement to the upside like this, maybe a pullback to then buy. If that does not happen, then I'm not interested on buying. And even if that happens, hey, the weekly here doesn't help me at all. Well, hey, maybe we're gonna shift weekly bullish on the week. So I have that in mind too. But on the 4 hour, this also looks beautiful. Whereas you can see, we are having a pullback to then have a rejection of the last previous structure point EMA, and we do not have a psychological number, so no. But I prefer USDJPY. I just have this in case, because in case USDJPY starts selling, I'm not gonna sell USDJPY, I'm gonna sell AUDJPY because most probably it's gonna have a great setup here to then go to the downside. And surprisingly, the last pair for the top pairs of the week, Euro GBP. I do have a couple more that I want to talk about, but as you can see here, Euro GBP, we are bullish, last previous structure point. If you count this as an elbow, this is the last previous structure point. And the last week, I told you guys, hey, are we going to shift bearish on the weekly? Are we not? And whatever happened on this candlestick for the week was gonna tell us a lot about what the price wants to do. And as you can see, we have a rejection and it looks like we are gonna start to the upside. We do have the EMA here, which kind of like stop us maybe, but I think the market is gonna keep going bullish. As you can see here, we are bearish though. So in order for me to take a trade, well, let me show you the 4 hour. We are bullish, last previous structure point, rejection, EMA. We keep going to the upside. For me to buy this pair, I'm gonna be looking for a break of this support and resistance level. If we break through, have a pullback, and we have a rejection of the EMA, last previous structure point, or area, last previous structure point, then it's gonna be a great setup to take a buy. I think that's it, to be honest. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I love Euro GBP. I've been watching these two pairs for the last weeks, maybe the last month, the last couple of months. And extra, this one I had on the same position here, like not the top pairs, but hey, I'm gonna be watching you closely. And what I told you guys happened. I know I have a lot of lines and a lot of zones. I hope this is not throwing you off, but if anything, I'll do this just for the sake of this example. And I can't remember which area I had, but I told you guys, if we break under, we have a pullback and we sell. And that happened too. I closed this trade kind of early, unlucky, but I pretty much like what happened on this trade. As you can see on the daily, was it? Well, we started the week here. Last previous structure point, EMA, we had our zone. And as you can see, we started going to the downside, and eventually I found myself in this area where we were bearish. Last pre-structure point, we have a rejection, we keep going to the downside. I was waiting for the price to break through, pull back and sell, but it did not happen. We came back, we had another rejection of this area, and here is where I decided to take a trade because I saw that we were bullish. Now we shift bearish. We have this small doji candlestick, and I was like, sweet, it's 8 a.m. on a Thursday. New York just opened. I'm gonna be that. This for me meant that we were gonna have, this was a rejection of this area and we were going to go to the downside. It did not happen, but luckily I had a great stop loss on top of this area and we never came back all the way up there. So on Friday, well, Thursday night, we started selling off and that happened. In order for me to take this trade again, pull back to then sell. What I was telling you guys before on the last week, basically well respected resistance, well respected support. Because we're under that zone, we can well respect TED as a resistance. Basically, I just want to pull back. Last previous structure point. I do not like that there is not a psychological number, so maybe I'll think about it twice and wait for more confirmations. I don't know. But I wish the EMA was closer and maybe we can come all the way up here. Psychological number, EMA. Maybe if it's not here, if it can be in any of these two areas if price wants to keep going to the downside. And I think it does. And I think it makes sense for the price to keep going to the downside. So we'll be looking at that. Next one, USD CAD, basically the same. I took this trade too. I closed it way earlier because I don't know. I think I have a lot of what it's called. Not FOMO, PTSD. Fuck PTSD to be honest, but I kind of gave it PTSD. I don't know why. Like I thought like it's gonna go to stop loss and I closed the trade. But hey, this was a fantastic trade. I know I did not plan on selling USD CAD, but I was making a video that you guys will be looking at soon. And there was a last period structure point here, and we rejected this point. We keep going to the downside. We have a rejection of this EMA, and it looked way too good to not take it. Although I took it, I think, on this week. Yeah, I took it on this week. And I waited for a couple of, well, this was on Thursday. And then I had just to wait until today, Friday, that it decided to move. And I think the last one that I'm going to talk about is Euro USD. This is basically what I told you guys last week. We have our zones already marked down, and we know because we can go to the past and we can see how the price has reacted. So I'm just waiting for something similar to what happened already, and a lot of confluences to my side and a right session to take a trade. Now Euro USD doesn't make it to the top pairs, same as these ones, because we are bullish on the weekly, we are bullish on the daily, and we are bullish on the 4 hour. But I do want to sell. I do not see myself buying here unless we break through this area, pull back. And even though, look, we broke through here, pull back, and we started going to the downside. So, hey, I think we can have rejections of this zone as we had in the past. I feel like, I feel like this price is very similar to this one. We only need this movement to the downside. And here I will be interested on selling. Why am I not interested on selling before? Because, or like where we are at now, because on the 4 hour, look, this is the higher low, higher high, and all of this is gonna be bullish. So I don't know, not even if we are below this EMA, I just don't want to push it like that. I want to wait for the right price action. This week I'm gonna be traveling too, so I feel like this past week I took a lot of trades, and because I was able to take trades even when I already lost some of them, I was able to make it back because I'm just taking trades on a good setup, not just because I want to make money. So every time I just see a good setup, I take a trade, and at the end of the day, with a good risk to reward ratio, that gave me profits. Not much, but that gave me profits, and I didn't lose money. So hey, but at the end of the day, I think because I'm gonna be traveling and stuff, I'm not gonna be able to take as many trades. So I do wanna. I'm gonna be trading, of course, but I'm gonna focus on less trades, best setups, and stuff like that. Or we'll see what happens, to be honest. But basically, these are my three pairs of the week, and all of these I'm gonna be watching too. USDCHF as well, but I did not like how USDCHF moved. And GBP very quickly. I think we might come all the way down here. I don't know if we're gonna have a last previous social point rejection to then buy, or we're gonna break through, pull back, and sell. The only thing I could be interested, but I took a trade here based on the 4 hour. It looked beautiful. I think we're gonna keep going to the downside, but I closed the trade early on this point because here we shift bullish on the 4 hour, and on this week I closed the trade. I kind of regret that, but hey, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, guys, these are my favorite three pairs of the week. Although USDJPY and AUDJPY you already know. But hey, I hope you can have some massive profits this upcoming week. I hope these videos actually are helpful for you. I think we have some very good zones and very good ideas because at the end of the day, a lot of the trades that I said that they were gonna happen. And for example, AUD JPY, I took an L, but at the end of the day, this is still what I said it was gonna happen. So we're there, and I'm very happy about that. I hope you find some good profits the next week, and I'll see you guys on the next video.